Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome to Stretford, Paddock. I am Adam McKola. Manchester United are through to the Europa League semi-finals. By hook or by crook, we got there 1-0 on the day. Bruno Fernandes with the penalty after extra time. It was very, very squeaky from start to finish. It was squeaky bum time. I predicted before the game started United would win 3 or 4-0. I thought it was going to be cruise control, but it wasn't. Copenhagen were at it and they started off the game the better side after United had put out a strong team. Romero in goal, yes. Wan-Bissaka, Williams as fullbacks, Maguire, Bailly, Fred, Pogba, Bruno, Rashford, Marshall, Greenwood. You were thinking this team is the Manchester United team we've grown. You know, only Matic was missing from the regular team that we saw week in, week out. And the team came out and they just didn't perform. Copenhagen were up for it from the start. They were getting at Manchester United and they were creating openings. Now, I don't think they had a shot on target in the first half. But what they were creating were moments in and around the 6-yard box where United were panicking, where they were causing mayhem in our box. And if they were to get their shot away, they may have scored. But there's a few occasions when they just overpassed it or looked for an extra pass when they didn't really need to. And it cost Copenhagen a goal or two because they could have gone in front in that first half. After that first half an hour, when the first drinks break came, Manchester United got into the game a little bit more. We had more possession. We looked a little bit dangerous going into the first half break. We looked more dangerous. We got a goal. Mason Greenwood scores. You're thinking, amazing, Mbappe, come back outside. But then the goal gets ruled out through VAR for offside. Correctly so. It wasn't our first goal that was ruled out for offside as well. Marcus Rashford had one ruled off for offside. When Mason Greenwood hit the post, the ball comes back out to him, but he was miles offside. So we were creating these chances and we were putting the ball in the net, but we just weren't quite having that luck to get us through. Whereas we did have a little bit of luck defensively. As I said, when Copenhagen were creating chances, they just weren't taking them. But in the second half, we had a lot more possession. We seemed to do more with it. Bruno hit the post. You know, we had all these opportunities, but it just weren't quite clicking. Something was wrong. Martial was doing all the build-up, all the skills, all the tricks, but then his finish was just wrong. Whereas recently his finishing has been out of this world. He could have had 2, maybe 3 today, and it's a comfortable game. It's a different game. Mason Greenwood, I thought he was our best player in the first half, went a little bit quiet after that, and then was substituted. But Mason Greenwood, he could have had a goal or 2. I thought Marcus Rashford looked poor today. He's getting into great positions and he's getting into areas where he can make something happen. He had a few shots which went close, but I think Marcus Rashford can do so much more in games, and we need him to do more. We know he had a big injury and he came back from that just before we finished the domestic campaign, but now you've had those games to get your fitness back up. You've had a little bit of a break. Now we need to start seeing the best of Marcus Rashford and the Marcus Rashford that we were seeing throughout the season. Look, I'm not writing him off, but today it wasn't his best day and he looked frustrated, and I was surprised he didn't get substituted a little bit earlier. Bruno Fernandes didn't have the best of games. I thought Paul Pogba did well at times, but then there was other times where he'd give the ball away or dilly-dally, and you're thinking, come on, Paul, you can be better than this. And I just thought we were on the verge throughout the game of doing something, but we were frustrating at the same time. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know whether that frustration came from United going into this game, us fans thinking, we're going to steamroller this, like it's going to be easy, 3-4-0. And Copenhagen actually turning up and saying, this isn't going to be easy. We're going to battle for everything. This is a quarter-final. This is the biggest stage we've ever been on in a European competition. We're going to fight for this. And they absolutely did. So I think you have to give some credit to them. But I think you also have to give a little bit of criticism to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I thought he could have changed things earlier. There was clearly something wrong in that second half, and we could have tinkered it and maybe got something out of the team. He did change it just as we went into extra time, and I thought the changes were perfect. We saw Mata come on, we saw Lingard come on, and Juan Mata began to just create things. He's got more assists than anyone in the Europa League for Manchester United this season. And as soon as he come on, he found Anthony Martial. Martial skins the defender, has his shot saved. The ball comes back to Mata. He gives it back to Martial again. Martial gets dragged down, and it's a penalty. 1-0 Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes is not going to miss. No hip and a hop and a skip and all that this time. But he weren't going to miss. And from there, you were thinking, all right, United, go and get the second, wrap this up. And we should have had the second. Martial missing opportunities again. Rashford missing opportunities again. United missing opportunities again. But we had to expect Copenhagen to respond and have some sort of fight back. And they did that. But overall, we got through. And I remember during the game, Andy was panicking a little bit. Everyone was, and I was saying, relax, man. It's a quarter-final. is Copenhagen are going to be up? It reminded me of the Celta Vigo game where we had a little bit of luck. Guedetti scores towards the end. It's all over for United. But you need a little bit of luck in these cup competitions. And you got to realise we're in a weird phase at this moment. It's extremely hot in these stadiums. The players haven't really, they're not match fit at this moment in time, either because they weren't playing much before the break during the domestic campaign, and now they're coming in and trying to regain their fitness. Or they were overplayed then, they've had a break, and now they're coming back in trying to find their match sharpness again. So we have to take that into consideration. But also, we have to be aware this is going to get a lot more difficult now throughout the fixtures. Sevilla or Wolves next. If we beat them, you get Inter Milan or Shakhtar or Basel. The games are going to get more difficult. And because of that, we have to be at it. If we play like we did today against Sevilla or Wolves, we go out. If we play like we did today against Inter Milan, we go out. So we have to make sure that we're at it. There's no room for excuses like Andy was saying. There's no room for this talk about fatigue or I'm not played or I was injured or I was this or I was that, because you've had your rest, you're having your training sessions, you've had 2 games, and this is a serious competition. And it's also a big, big chance for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to get a little bit of the doubters off his back. Because if you're coming into a competition now, a tournament where you're one of the last 4 teams, 3 of those teams are Sevilla or Wolves, Inter Milan and Shakhtar or Basel, you have to be expecting to do or win this tournament with Man United. It's as simple as that. The pressure is on to win trophies, and Ole can make a big statement here. Get ready for that Champions League football in terms of, the knockout phase and the cup competition and European teams and European football and all that. But Ole also has to get us through this. He has to prove that I am worthy of being a Manchester United manager, because when it comes down to the knockout competitions, when it comes to the nitty-gritty, we're going to get the results. I'm going to make the tactical changes needed during the game if I have to, and we're going to get through in these competitions. And today he did that. We got through in the competition and we're into the semi-finals. But we also know that if we go into these next games like this, we're not going to do that. So Ole needs to be aware as well that he's going to be judged off things like this. We've already been to 2 semi-finals. We've been to the League Cup semi-final, lost against City. We've been to the semi-final against Chelsea, lost against them. And there could be other reasons for those defeats. All right, fair enough. City are better than us. All right, cool. Chelsea, we had to wrestle. But ultimately, this is what you get judged on as a Manchester United manager. Results in semi-finals, results at the nitty-gritty end of the season, results when the time is really getting squeaky bum time. And so Ole now, in these next few games, there's a big thing to prove. Can he win a trophy for Manchester United? It's there. The stage is set. It's set for you to do it. We've already got Champions League in the bag. There's no pressure on us to get this trophy for Champions League football. So now what can you do up against some of the most decent sides in Europe? I'm not going to say the best because they're not the best. We're in the Europa League. Let's know where we are. But against the Inters, against Sevilla, against Wolves, how are you going to fare in these cup competitions, in these knockouts? Because that's a question you have to ask of Manchester United manager. And Ole needs to answer those. So there's a few questions that come out of this. But overall, it's job done. We've got nothing to complain about. We're through. And I think actually we saw some signs from some players that they're getting back to where they need to be. Paul Pogba, I thought he was okay today and he's looking a little bit better. Some of his passes that time was excellent. And Martial, I thought, apart from scoring, he did everything today. And I know we had a bad first half and he looked more like David Bellion than Anthony Martial in the first half. But in that second half and in extra time, he really stepped it up. So, there are things to be positive about. We're through to a semi-final of a European Cup competition, but also the pressure's really on now, and this is where it gets squeaky, and Ole needs to deliver. So let us know what you thought about that today. My man of the match, I'll give it to Juan Mata. He changed the game when he come on. He absolutely changed the game in our favour, and I wanted to see Mata and Lingard start, and I suppose, when Mata came on, he showed you why he should have, but yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you like and comment and share and subscribing. United are still going to Cologne, or we're staying in Cologne as we go to these semi-finals. But keep it locked. Like, comment, share. We're out of here.